I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekar Kodash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations, and many blessings to those that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back to the Spirit with another quick lesson. And I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. This lesson right here is based off of this video that I just saw on TikTok. And what this goes to show you is that the so-called white man, or who we know as Esau Edom, still to this very day carries the perpetual hatred to slaughter Jake and the people of Israel without cause. Okay, he has no justification for what he does, but as things go, as time progresses, he's becoming more and more revealed. Okay, because this devil has the only thing that this devil can do is shed blood with the sword. Rape, rob, steal, murder, and shed blood with the sword. This is what goes through his head. He doesn't think about how he can benefit the world. He thinks about how he can kill and destroy. Okay? This is the whole purpose of his being in the first place, is to be that wicked one. All right? So when you watch this video and you see how these police officers are saying, "Hey, you know what? We want to kill these people. We want to murder these people. We don't want to protect them." Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, who this man is. So for all of you other Jakes out there saying that, oh, the so-called white man can be saved, some people can be saved, some of them are good. No, there's not any of them that are good. There aren't any of them are good, man. They're all wicked. All of them are wicked. Okay, and the only way to free this world is to put wickedness out of it, which means this devil has to go. All of them. All right. There's not a such thing as a good Edomite. There's no such thing as that. All right. And his actions continually prove it. You have Edomites that are in power right now who has more. They have more than the heart can wish. And yet the whole world is still in an impoverished state. It would take less than 5% of this man's wealth to take the world out of its impoverished state, but he doesn't. Why? He's planning for what he calls the great culling, where he's going to try to wipe out a lot of the population. Okay, now we don't really know how he's going to do it, but we know real soon that something big is going to happen. Okay, we can feel that through the spirit. All right, there's going to be a lot of death out here, right? So, and this is one of the reasons why he's banning TikTok. So I believe in Missouri, I believe they've banned TikTok completely. It goes into effect in January. So they're making provisions to stop the people from knowing exactly what they're doing, because they don't want you to know what's happening, and that's going to go into the famine of the word. Without further ado, though, let me go ahead and play this video, and then we're going to grab a couple precepts, and Lord willing, you brothers are edified.
Have happened that just weren't caught on camera, particularly when we see disturbing stories like what just happened in Wilmington, North Carolina, which we only know about basically through sheer fluke, because a sergeant conducting an audit stumbled onto a video that had been accidentally recorded by a Wilmington police officer, and the police department, to its credit, told the public what they found. In the video, 3 longtime veteran Wilmington officers who've been on the job since the late 1990s, think about that, decades on the force, are heard saying some truly vile and racist things, with one of them flat out calling for a race war. This is a police officer who's been in there for decades. Quote, "We're just going to go out and start slaughtering them effing N-words. I can't wait. God, I can't wait." The officer adding that a civil war is needed to, quote, and I quote him here, "wipe them off the effing map. That'll put them back about 4 or 5 generations." All 3 officers have now been fired for misconduct. The city's new police chief, Donnie Williams, making the announcement yesterday.
When I first learned of these conversations, I was shocked, saddened, and disgusted. There is no place for this behavior in our agency or our city, and it will not be tolerated.
That was his first day on the job, one of his first actions as a head of police in that town. Now, there are so many ways this is disturbing, they're basically uncountable, but most striking to me is the resonance and meaning of these violent racist words in this particular place, Wilmington, North Carolina. It's a city that is in many ways a perfect representation.
You see, and you always got some bald head, baloney faced Jake talking about this will not be tolerated. Man, you work for their system, okay? You're part of their system that rapes, robs, and pillages Jake. And you're going to talk about it will not be tolerated. Man, Jake been tolerating this type of behavior for years, man. Of course it's going to be tolerated because we're under the curses. But let's grab a couple of precepts really quickly. This is Ezekiel. I thought I already had it pulled up, but I'm gonna start at the top. This is Ezekiel 35 and start at verse 1. It says, Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesied against it. Okay, Mount Seir, that's another way of saying Petra or Edom. Okay, and Edom is we know him to be the so-called white man upon the earth. And it says, And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee and make thee most desolate. So the Lord is planning to make Esau most desolate. Okay, he's planning to make Esau most desolate. Why is he planning to make Esau most desolate? It says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of the calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So we ain't even doing nothing to this white man. We don't have any power to do anything. We're not. They're at war with us, but in the sense we're not at war with them. We're in a spiritual war. But Jake ain't out trying to lash out against Esau. Jake don't have the ability to do that. But this devil who has guns, he has authority, he has the police department at his whim. And this is happening all over Babylon and various parts of the world. And he just gets away with this shit, man. These dudes are on the force for 20 years plus. Do you know how many Jakes, feeling the way that they feel, you know how many Jakes they probably put under? And you don't hear nothing about it? And yet the only thing they get is fired? Right? For saying such a thing? And we know that they got a history talking about some I can't wait. Man, y'all already been doing this shit, man. You've already been teaching your children this stuff. And when all hell breaks loose and society breaks down and police departments are no longer available to police people and there's no more government authority, these are the same devils that's going to be out in the street hunting Jake. They're going to be out hunting Jakes. And you're going to have these simple-ass Jakes out here who think that, oh, yeah, we need to make a coalition with them. Instead of running back to your power, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and praying for forgiveness so he can deliver you from this violent man, right? You won't want to side with his ass, and he gonna put y'all to death, man. Okay, I just read it. He has a perpetual hatred. That means he has a hatred in him without cause, man. It burns forever. Okay, that's why the Lord said that he was going to make Esau a perpetual desolation. All right. It says, verse 6, it says, Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And it says, Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut it off, and cut him off, and cut off from him. So like it. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. This is what the Lord gonna do to y'all devils, because y'all choose to continue to forward the affliction of the Israelites, man. You want to forward the affliction and have a perpetual hatred without cause. You already got the fatness of the earth. You already got the best credit. You already got the best of everything. You already have the justice system on your side. You already got the best of everything. Even on the lowest level, you still got the best of the worst. You got these other Edomites, these top Amalekites that has the best of the best, and they have more than the heart can wish. But on a lower level, you got these Edomites that got the best of the worst. And Jake got the worst of the worst. And you may get some Jakes here and there that may get thrown a bone, but as a whole, our nation is on the bottom. And yet these Edomites still plot to kill us. Okay? Without cause. They never did nothing to these devils. Okay? If you going back to when King David had these devils in subjection, I mean, y'all done got y'all get back and then some from that. That wasn't even a long time. That wasn't hundreds of years. So King Solomon only had 40 years of peace from what King David established. Y'all had Jake in slavery for over 350 years, and then after that came Jim Crow, and you still got your foot in Jake's nicks to this very day. Okay, so the Lord said He gonna make y'all, He gonna cut y'all off and make y'all most desolate. And you're not going to have anybody coming through your lands anymore. You're not going to have any. As a matter of fact, the Lord said He's not going to. You know what? I'm going to get that. Yeah, I'm going to continue on. And it says, and I will fill His mountains with slain men, and His hills and His valleys, and all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. And I will make thee perpetual desolation. So just like you want to keep a perpetual hatred, the Lord going to make you perpetual desolations. You're never going to come back. Okay? And thy cities shall not return. You see that? The Lord said your cities are not going to return. You said you're going to come back and rebuild the desolate places, right? When Rome fell, right? When the Renaissance happened, we're going to come back and build it. But the Lord said you ain't doing that this time. You're not coming back from this. You're going to be a perpetual desolation. Your city should not return. Okay? And it says, and you should know that I am the Lord. And you're going to know it's the Lord doing it to you. And that's starting to happen right now. You're starting to lose your grip on the world right now. Things are changing. Okay? And y'all Edomites are losing y'all grip. The whole world is starting to see y'all for who y'all are. And even y'all own people are questioning what y'all doing. So, yeah, man. The Lord about to have His way with y'all, man. Just like y'all did us. Y'all can get done like that and then some. Y'all tried to cut us off from being a nation. So the Lord is going to do that to you. All right. This is Psalms 10 and 40. I'm sorry. Psalms 140 and 4. 144. Call all your how about me outside. It says, keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Who's the wicked? Esau, Edom. Preserve me from the violent men who have proposed to overthrow my goings. And see, that's what they want to do. Anything that Jake does, they want to overthrow that. They want to take it over. They want to make it theirs. And if they can't get it through their fraudulent contracts, they get it through fraud. Through their fraudulent contracts, they take it through violence. Okay? And the Lord is, and this prayer here is saying, preserve me from the wicked, O Lord. And that's who we got to stand on. We got to stand on the Lord. The Lord is the one who protects, and the Lord is going to be the one to put the spirit on this devil to either kill your ass or to not kill you, or the spirit on you to either go in the way of this devil or to not go in the way of this devil. Okay? So this is why we need to depend on the Lord, because the Lord is our defense. The scripture said the Lord shall fight for you and you will hold your peace. Okay? We're coming into a time now where you're going to have to totally depend on the Lord for everything. Esau's system is going to fail. So if in the curses we had to go to Esau for the want of all things, and the want of all things that he once controlled has now failed, who do we go back to? Well, at that point, now we're going to solely have to rely on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? So the Lord is creating opportunity for Israel to return onto Him, okay, by collapsing this man's system. But a lot of you Jakes are going to go back to the violent man that has a perpetual hatred against you, where the Lord is making a separation right now, But this is just more evidence, man, that this devil, this so-called white man is the devil. He has the hatred in him. And see, the thing about y'all Jakes is y'all Jakes are trying to relate Esau to you. because inside you're the prince of power, the prince of the power. Okay, our big brother is the prince of peace, which is Yahweh Shai. So inside of us, we want to be peaceful. Okay, we want to be peaceful. All right. Jake don't want to go out and commit violence and shit like that unless it's against his own brother. You know, Jake could do that shit all day. But during through the other nations, no, he don't want to do that. He want to include the other nations and act all brotherly and rub shoulders with all of the other nations that want to oppress him. You know. But ultimately, in the end, you know, Jake is a peaceful people. You know, when you want to look at Jake as a whole, we ain't trying to do all that. So you relate Esau to yourself. You think because you peaceful, he's peaceful. Okay. But the scripture said when you go into Genesis, the 25th chapter, there's two manner of people within thy bowels, and two nations shall be separated, roughly paraphrasing. So we are completely different. And even the looks of us are different. So-called white man he has pale flesh, you know. A lot of them have blue eyes, all right? They have straight dog-smelling hair, all right? They're red. Jake has woolly. A lot of Jakes have woolly hair. Okay, a lot of Jakes have dark skin and with red hues. Some of them don't have red hues. On average, Jake is more muscular and more burly than Esau. Okay, so we look different on the outside. If we look that much different on the outside, how can we be different? How can we be the same on the inside? Okay, we're not the same on the inside. We're completely different. Okay? And you cannot relate Esau Edom to Jake. There are no such thing as a peaceful Edomite. Eventually, an Edomite will turn on you. That's just their nature. Okay? That's their nature. All right? And the Lord has given us an opportunity to separate from Esau. And a lot of Jakes are. But most Jakes won't. Okay? And that's why the scriptures say, though they go hand in hand, they should be thrusted through. Because you're going to sit there and try to save your enemy. You can't save your enemy, man. He's the enemy. And the Lord hates this nigga, man. So who are you to sit there and say, oh, well, I want to be cool with this nigga, but the Lord hates him? All right. This is Isaiah 41:15. It says, behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small and make them as chaff. Okay? So the Lord is going to turn Israel into a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Let me go one verse and read this one. This is Isaiah 41:14. It says, fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. Okay, so the Lord is telling us, hey, he's saying, man, you a worm. You want to know why he calling us a worm? Because we ain't got no defense. We can't defend or we can't fight against this devil, man. This devil has too much of a foothold in everything. He controls every aspect of life. And even when things collapse, he's still going to have more weaponry and power than we have. Okay, even after everything collapses. Because he's been building up for this shit for a long time. You got a lot of Edomites out there that's been prepping, that's been storing guns, that's been putting bullets away, you know. They got shelters and stuff like that where they can be together and organize. They've been training for this shit. They train their children at a young age to shoot, you know. Jake don't do none of that. Okay? Jake don't do none of that. Jake is a worm. Jake is defenseless. You think that y'all Jakes out there with y'all little guns that y'all hold sideways to shoot is going to be able to compare to an Edomite who got tactical military gear, tactical weapons. You know, he's been practicing shooting this shit for the last 10 years, and he can hit you from 300 yards right in the middle of your face, you know? We worms. We don't have any power. It says, I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. So the Lord said he's going to help us, all right? He's going to be the one to help Israel fight against this devil. That's why a lot of us are going to get spiritual powers. A lot of men in the Lord are going to get spiritual powers because we will not have the carnal means to fight against this devil. Okay? That's why the scriptures say our weapons of warfare are not carnal, because we're not going to have the carnal means to fight this devil, man. We don't have the carnal means to fight this devil now. How much more when all hell break loose, man? You think we're gonna have the means to fight this devil when all hell break loose? I'm gonna read 41 again. It says, "Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills like chaff." And that's talking about Esau and his governments and his many governments. And the Israelites are going to destroy his shit. Okay? The Lord is going to give us that power. And that's going to happen on this side. You know, you can get a lot of Israelites on this side that's going to get that spiritual power. And we don't know to the extent that some men are going to get it and some men aren't. But we do know through the Spirit that we're going to, the Lord is going to give Israel, he's going to give some Jakes spiritual power. All right? And then it says, and that was pretty much it on that. Okay? So yeah, man, this is just another case of Esau Edom being a goddamn devil he is that hates the Israelites and shed the blood of the Israelites through the force of the sword. And this is something that's going to continue, man. This devil is never going to stop, man, until he gets put out of power and the Lord put him out of his world. I was going to get, Obadiah. As a matter of fact, I got one more precept I want to get. Let's grab this last one. We'll do Revelation, start at verse 9. Because this is just his judgment in Revelation. Okay, just let me get Revelation, man. There's Revelation 13 and verse 9. It says, "If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." Here's the patience in the face of the saints. So we know that there is a consequence for you being a murderer, for you being a killer, for you putting the Israelites in slavery and doing them the way that they do without cause. Okay? There's a penalty for that, and this is going to be your judgment. You're going to be put into slavery. You're going to be killed with the sword. This is just what's going to happen to you. And then Obadiah 1:18 is going to happen one day where all of Esau is going to be rounded up and burned. And I'm going to be honest with you. I hope it's a whole bunch of them. I hope that when, during the time of slavery, that the men of the Lord breed them Edomites like crazy, So at the end, it's a big bonfire. Like it's just a bunch of them just going off. And that's a hell of a way to go, to where all of y'all are just being burned to a crisp, You're going to be enslaved for thousands of years, and then at your latter end, you're going to be burned, And that's a fitting end for such a wicked creation, all right? For something that's so destructive, so wicked, so evil, and just a demon that devises iniquity upon their bed, and have evil thoughts and work an evil work, and it's constant. They never want to stop doing wickedness. They always want to do wickedness. The women, the men, and the children. It is in their blood. That's how they were made. They were vessels created for dishonor and for wrath. That's what they were for. That's what they were made for. Okay? But the Lord gave them an opportunity to have rulership over the earth. Okay? Because it was foretold that they would have rulership. But their rulership is coming to an end, and their punishment is about to begin. All right? So with that, I pray this edifying lesson. I'm going to end it off by giving all praise going honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstones. To the next time I came and say shalom.